Hello and welcome everybody. Happy Friday afternoon. I am joined by the wonderful Sam today, and Sam has her own jewelry business, Hair and Moon Jewelry. And Sam is currently a student on the diploma in silver metal clay, which is really exciting because it's our first year ever of doing this course. So she is one of the few people who has gone through it so far and pretty much coming to the end of that year. So welcome, Sam. Thanks for coming and having a chat with me today.
Thank you.
Yes, awesome. And so perhaps to start off with, you could just share a bit about your story, how you came to jewelry making and kind of starting your jewelry business, because you started it before the diploma, didn't you? And then we can talk about the diploma experience as well.
So like many people, I actually started making jewelry years ago, buying beads, buying stringing, and just making myself bits and pieces. And friends and relatives used to say to me, "Oh, can you make something?" And so you did. And I discovered lamp working, making glass beads through that. And got into it. So many years ago, sort of around 2007, I was actually making glass beads and fell into silversmithing a little bit then, and discovered silver metal clay. So I did evening classes in silversmithing. I did a day workshop with Joy Funnel down in Hastings, and was smitten. I loved it, but life events took over. I lost my mojo a little bit, and I put it aside for quite a long time, and then came back to jewelry about 3 years ago and rediscovered an absolute passion for it. Just love it. I've been one of these people that hops from like hobby to hobby, and you kind of think, oh, I'll do this, and it didn't really match, and then just fell back into the jewelry making, and kind of really just focus on the silversmithing, but more so the clay now, just really enjoying the clay. So I kind of evolved over a few years, but the last 3 years just really picked up, and this is kind of what I'd like to do. I'd like ultimately to quit my day job and do this full time, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure it's
coming. I hope so.
Yeah, and I love that you share that, you know, you kind of had you made jewelry and you were really into it, and then you kind of went through a phase of for various different reasons it fell by the wayside, and then it's come back. And I think lots of people have that journey, and I think it's such a nice thing. Like, it's always there for us when we want it, and there's never any pressure like you have to keep going, like you have to always be, you know, it's I think when it's inside of us, that it's something that we love and it's a passion, it keeps knocking, doesn't it?
It's no, it does. And it was really weird because it did go away for quite a while, and then it just very gradually creeps up, and it's just like, hello, come back to me. And so I just, you know, I jumped in, I bought some silver metal clay and very successfully melted the first lump when I fired it, and thought, oh my goodness, perhaps not. And then you just keep going, and I love it. So
yeah, awesome. And so you've done like the lampwork beading, which I love lampwork beading. It's so cool. I'm not great at it, but I did like a day course with someone, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah, no, amazing. Nothing like playing with fire.
Yeah, and the melting glass, and the creativity in there. And then you did the silversmithing, but now your real focus is the silver metal clay.
I still dabble in a bit of silversmithing. I've still got quite a lot of the you know, the bits and pieces, but I love the silver clay. It's just so versatile, and I have such a love-hate relationship with soldering that, you know, I do really struggle to solder. Days when it goes well, it goes beautifully, but there are more rubbish days. And the beauty with the silver clay is that you can kind of get away that you don't need it. I can make my jump rings, I can make my bails, I don't have to solder it on. It becomes an integral part of the design. So that's really nice. I haven't got a fight with, you know, trying to get the solder to flow and that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it seems like the clay is just calls you, you know, and I think different things do call us. We don't always get to choose what we love to do. It just is like, this is my thing. So tell us a bit about how you came to do the silver metal clay diploma, because obviously it's our first year, so it's quite new. Not that many people knew about it. How did you come to find out about it? And was it like an instant thing, or did you think about it for a while? Tell us a bit about that.
It was so I think it was just an alignment of the moon and the stars, really. It was just meant to be, and it all just came together at the right time. I was thinking about just kind of getting into teaching a little bit. So my background is that I'm actually a nurse, and I spent 7 years as a senior lecturer teaching. So I've got a teaching qualification, and I love teaching. It's my passion. Sharing knowledge with people is just such an important thing. And I think just something I really enjoy doing. So I wanted to get into teaching silver clay, because I think it's one of those things that anybody can do. You don't have to be crafty, and it's more achievable than silversmithing. You don't have to buy so much specialized equipment in the first instance. As it goes on, it does, but and so I was looking at doing my art clay certification and stuff like that. And whilst it's cheaper, and that, I just felt like a lot of the things I could already do, and there were other things I wanted to learn, like doing hinges and making different things and construction and that kind of thing. And yeah, I probably could have gone on the internet and found it, but sometimes it's worth buying into a structured program where somebody can support you. And lo and behold, your program came up, and it was just a no-brainer. It was just, I'm going to do this. I have to do this. Whether I do my certification later on, I might still do that. But this was just because of the projects, because of the things that I could make and learn and everything. It was just absolutely do it. So no, I didn't think I had to work out how to pay for it, but that was fine. I spoke to the lovely bank manager, and that was okay. But it was a no-brainer. It was just like, I need to do this because this is how I think I'm going to progress my work and be able to really start pushing myself. So yeah, and it just all fell into place. You guys and because I belong to Jewellers Academy already, I saw this coming through, and it's like, that's it. It was meant to be.
Yeah, a few people have shared that about the silver metal clay diploma, because we were thinking of doing it for years, but we were kind of busy making these other diplomas because we had students going through, and we were like, we need to get it ready for the next year. And Anna Campbell, who who I work with closely, was like, when are we going to do the silver metal clay one? And I was like, as soon as we've done these, we will. And it was really lovely when people were like, oh my goodness, this is exactly the right time. Like, everything happens in the right time, doesn't it? I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what are some of the projects that you've enjoyed? Because obviously you already made silver metal clay before, so you weren't a total beginner. So what was it like for you? And yeah, talk us through some of the projects you've enjoyed.
So there have been a variety. Obviously, you've got people on the course who have, like me, got experience, but there are some complete newbies that have never even opened a packet of clay. So even those first 4 or 5 weeks when you were trying to get everybody up to a standard, even though I'd got experience, that was incredibly useful. It's good revision. It's a bit like driving. We get into bad habits. You skip things, and sometimes you skip things that perhaps we shouldn't skip. And so that was quite nice. But the first few weeks were sort of easier for me because I was very familiar and very comfortable. And then in term 1, there were some really lovely projects. So the dichroic glass setting was really lovely, and how to do that. And I really enjoyed that, and I've made a couple of really beautiful pieces. So that was quite nice, just to learn how to set dichroic glass into the silver clay. And because the dichroic glass can be fired in the kiln, it just works beautifully. So that was a really lovely project. And the painted leaf one, just to actually sit down and just do that. And my painted leaf is just stunning. It's beautiful. And it's like, wow, and I've read about it, but I'd never quite gotten down to actually doing it. So term 1 was really lovely because it was kind of getting everyone to a level. Term 2, probably could be love-hate. There was so the very first week was the paper clay, and unfortunately, for many reasons, the PMC no longer made. Art clay silver paper is very different. The paper clay is very, very different to the PMC. So there were a few issues, but actually looking back on it, as much as I hated that first week and I really struggled to get the paper clay to do what we wanted it to do the to do it. It was a really good learning experience. And, you know, a couple of us threw our toys out the pram. We just were like, oh, I'm not doing that. One girl in the group was absolutely amazing. She went off and did tons of research and shared that with us all. And because of that, I would probably try paper clay again. But so that was definitely a vertical learning curve week.
Yeah, we know about the paper.
Yeah. It was, you know, it was interesting. But you know, we learn a lot, and I think that's what this is about. And for people like me who have come on the course with experience, what that week taught me was actually you need to learn to troubleshoot this. You need to learn, if you're in this situation and you're making something, how can I troubleshoot this to make it work? Rather than throwing a paddy and lobbing it out the window, it was about actually just how do I make this work? So that was really useful. Yeah. I loved the box ring week. I loved making that really big, chunky box ring. That was brilliant. Yeah. And then term 3 is just amazing. The masterclasses are brilliant. They're just, each week is something different and something, or each couple of weeks is something different and something very unique. And I've done the first 2 and I've loved them. So yeah. So term 3 has definitely been this is it. This is the pinnacle. This is what I wanted to do. But you needed to do the first 2 terms to get to that comfortable point, whether you've had experience or not. So yeah, it does.
Yeah, because anyone who doesn't know the course very well, the third term is a series of masterclasses by some incredible tutors from around the world. And the ones you've taken, Joy Funnels, enameling, making a enameled owl, and also Anna Maison, her incredible rose garden project, which she made for us. And if people, regardless of whether you're interested in a diploma or not, should definitely go and check out Sam's Instagram, because you can see some of the pictures of what you've been making. And
trying to share them, and just things like really appreciating Anna Maison's work and how very tiny everything is, and how skilled she is, and Joy with her enameling. And you know, I had tried enameling previously and failed abysmally, and now I feel really confident to be able to enamel, and it opens up so many possibilities of what other things I can make.
Absolutely.
So, it is amazing. I absolutely recommend the course to anyone.
Oh, awesome. And what would you say to someone listening who's been thinking about signing up to the Silver Metal Clay Diploma, but perhaps isn't sure for a number of reasons? Sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's to do with will I actually manage to make it from online? It can be a bit daunting signing up to something online. What advice would you give to somebody?
Absolutely do it. From a financial point of view, there are it is a bit tricky. It is quite a lot of money, but if it's something that you're passionate about, if it's something that you think you want to make, not even necessarily a business, but you want to make jewelry that you can sell to people, it's about investing in yourself. It's about actually saying, I'm going to do this for me so that I can make something that's really good quality. I work full time as a nurse. I work full time in 4 days a week, and it's less if I have to skip a week or 2 because things are busy at work. You can catch up with yourself. It's not a problem. You do have to be a little bit disciplined and make sure that you set that time aside. But the fact that it's online makes that easier to do. But the support is phenomenal. You get written information, you get really, really, really amazing videos that show you step by step what to do. Yourself, Anna, our mentors. So we've got Vicky and Joe, who are just amazing. And the Facebook group's stunning. We all support each other. Vicky and Joe predominantly are available almost 24/7. And yourself and Anna pitch in and pitch out as well. So you're not alone, even though you might actually be sitting in your workshop alone. You're not. And there will always be somebody in your group who you say, I don't know how to do this, and they'll have done it, and they'll be like, oh no, this is how I did it. It's just do it. Don't think about it. Do it.
I love that. Yeah, it's so lovely to hear how supportive you guys are, and we've seen that in the groups anyway, and just the community that comes together. And recently the Cinta conference, and a bunch of you guys were there as well, and it's just really cool to kind of build that that side of the community, I suppose, the metal clay crew. We might have different crews. So and well done, Sam, you know, because you put a lot of work in, and like you said, you work full time in quite a stressful job, and you're fitting this in around it, and you're supporting other people, and you're teaching, and you're doing all the things. So, you know, I really hope it's not too long before you can do this full time, because you're very passionate about it, and I think it's awesome. So
definitely just keep chipping away.
Yes, and tell us a bit about your teaching and like what's next for you in your business, and where it's going.
So Hair and Moon started about 2 years ago. So I've just come into my 3rd year, and I kind of, one of the things that happened way back when I was doing it previously was that I stupidly thought I could make it a business overnight. And I put myself under huge amounts of pressure, and because of that, your mojo goes, and you're just left with this something that doesn't fill you with joy anymore, which is one of the reasons why I ended up just giving it all up for a while. So this time round, I've been much more considered. It's about a 3-year plan, and it's about getting myself out there, getting my brand known, getting myself known, and that kind of thing. So Hair and Moon, I've been on the internet, and I sell locally through a gallery. And I have to say, the sales side, I do lots of markets. I do well at the markets, but the website's not a massive generator of sales for me. But because of my teaching and my love for teaching, I just thought that this would be something. So I'm building that up really slowly. So I've got a little studio at home that my husband has very, very beautifully done up for me. And I can fit 1 to 2 students in there. So I do an introduction to metal clay. So it's literally a 3.5-hour session where we just show somebody. I think I describe it as standing them at the top of the slippery slope and gently pushing them over and introducing them to metal clay. Here's silver clay, off you go. So they do a 3.5-hour session with me, where they can leave with, depending on what they make, and they get 7 grams of clay. They can make like a pendant and a pair of matching earrings, or they can make what they want, and just get to experience different textures and that kind of thing, and how to fire it. And then where I sell my jewellery in Westgate, I also do some bigger classes. So I've done, because I live near the beach, I've done a seashore inspired class, because I quite like a lot of nature. So I've also done a botanicals class where I've actually got people, we've gone and we've picked some leaves, we've picked some flowers. I've shown them how to make a mould, and then we've used that mould to make a piece of jewellery from. So just different little classes. I'll be doing the botanicals one again in September time, when the acorns and that are on the trees, so we can get some really lovely botanical seeds and that to make the jewelry with, and just show people how brilliant it is, how versatile it is, how very unique a piece of jewelry. Even if 3 people in the room make an acorn necklace, they are all going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. You're inspired by nature, and you're working with clay. Those variables, isn't it? So that's my focus. That's what I'm trying to build up the teaching more. Yeah, and you have so much to offer because you've been developing your own skills, and you're kind of putting the work in. So that's brilliant. And final question before I let you go: if you had one piece of advice to give to someone starting their own jewelry business, or perhaps just starting out on, on their jewelry journey, what would it be? What's the main thing you've learned?
So many things, really. No. So many things, really, that I want to say that are kind of like really technical. Do this, and do you know what? Actually, mostly is don't put yourself under pressure and have fun. You know, it will come. Some people, it comes really quickly. Some of us have to chip away a little bit longer at it. Don't put yourself under pressure. No unreasonable expectations, and just have fun. I love that, and that your story has kind of echoed that, hasn't it? Because you. And I think so many people will relate to that. And I've seen it happen a lot where people sort of are like, right, I've got a year to make this happen. And it's like, oh God. And And for a very, very small few people, that will happen. And the lady that you did the thing from this story from Margate, she was just thinking about giving up, and she came across her little bow rings, and it's just absolutely blown up for her. And that's amazing. And some people it doesn't, but the majority of us just have to just gently chip, 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 chip. And that's what I've done this time. It's this whole 3-year plan. Get out there, get yourself known, shout who you are, and just enjoy it.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. And even that lady, Anna Sweet, has been running her jewelry business for many, many years. So it's kind of like being in the game. It's those overnight successes that have been going for 10 years before you hear about them.
But we all live for the moment that we go viral on TikTok. It's like, oh my God, that would be amazing. But it doesn't happen every time. Just enjoy the moment. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Be true to yourself.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Sam, thank you so much for coming and sharing a bit about your journey through the Metal Play Diploma. And just a final reminder to everybody, today is the day. It is the last day to sign up to any of the Jewelry Diploma programs this year. Obviously, there'll be next year, but we'd love to be making with you in September. And why not do it now? It's not a dress rehearsal, is it? We got to go for it.
Do it.
Yes. So I'll pop the link below in case you have any other questions. And Sam, where is the best place for people to come and connect with you online if they want to?
So I'm on Instagram at Hair and Moon Jewelry. I'm on Facebook at Hair and Moon Jewelry. And I have a website which unsurprisingly is hairandmoonjewelry.co.uk.
Yeah,
I know it's and stuff like that. They're on there, but
we can find you.
Come and chat to me. Yeah, just Google Hair and Moon. I've worked hard. Hopefully, I'm quite high up on the things.
Yeah.
Trying. Yeah. So just Google me.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sam. Thanks everyone for listening. Speak
Thanks
soon.
a lot.
Take care.
Bye.